what I'm going to be making in this video is going to be this small book. Now, I wanted to make a book because as someone who is a maker, as someone who has gone through school, and someone who has tried all kinds of different sketchbooks and notepads and notebooks, college ruled, regular ruled, whatever, you find a preference. You find something that you like more than others. And ultimately, in that process, I got curious about the physical process of making a book. I'd seen videos on how they make parchment, how they actually do book binding and other things. And it finally got to me to just go ahead and try it with the purpose of making this little one. I wanted to make a little one because whenever I'm out and about or when I'm at work, I'll suddenly get an idea in my head, or I just want to write down my thoughts because there's too many things in my head and I want to put it somewhere. And your phone works great, but it's not the same as actually being able to write and sketch in a little book exactly what it is you're trying to convey in that moment. So yeah, so that's what right now I'm just doing some measuring because, well, we finished binding the book and we have these strands on either end. Now, we need to make the covers for the book, and I'm going to do that with this and my little coping saw. I don't have any other saws or any other way of cutting this, so this is the best I can do for now, but that's okay. So, let's do some measurements. I went through every box I have. I went through the two bins right here, and I went through all the stuff in the closet and all the stuff in the restroom and the bathroom, and I do not own a single comb. Not one. I don't even comb my hair, so like fair. Okay, I don't comb my hair, so I don't need one. And what I need to do is take the string that looks like this, the individual strands, and turn it into this. Separate it even further to make it this big fluffy thing, so it's easier to glue on. So I've been here for like 10, 15 minutes just going at it with this thing. And just zhut, zhut, zhut. I've been doing this for like 20 minutes, and I still need to do the other side. That edge is hell messed up. That's okay. Still, you gotta keep going. I learned early on, like well, no, not early on, actually, the opposite of early on. I learned very recently, to just do the project, like, even if you know it's not going to turn out perfect, like the way you want it, just go ahead and get started, because no matter what, it will never be perfect. It will never be exactly how you want it. There will always be something that doesn't go to plan, and that's perfectly fine. So I used to let that hold me back, and I would delay projects. I wouldn't do them because I would think, how do I get this to be exactly how I want it to be?
and I could never actually get it to that point. So at some point, I was just like, you know what, let's just make it and then go for it. And usually it ends up turning out better than I thought it would. And I'm very thankful for that, but it's still, it's just something you kind of have to learn. There's something you have to learn and to like pick up on. Like, like, oh, this is my project. I don't know how viable it's going to be or effective or if it's going to even look good or anything. You won't know. And you'll never know until you actually like go out of your way to actually start building it. Hold on, I can do this in a more safe fashion. There we go. Turn this like that. Open these up a bit. Now I have something I can drill through and not hurt myself. Let's take it. Now, okay, so this is going to be facing out. So on the inside, I need to carve out like that sort of shape and carve out that side because that's where the string is going to go. And obviously, the string is going to take up a certain amount of space. So that it doesn't end up like rigid outside, that's going to help it to actually conform to the book. So I think the best way to do this would be okay. So I have that glued up pretty good. I have a stick in my mouth, so yeah, I'm just kind of talking is a little weird. So let's try and close this. And the wax paper. There we go. Okay, the wax paper is gonna allow this to still dry while not sticking to that first page that I wrote on. So there we go. I want to try to close this as tight as I can. So there we go. Right. Ooh, that actually looks way better than I thought it would be. Ooh, oh, I'm so excited now. Okay, cool. All right, so you got to do the other side. Right, back to the task again. So this is clamped now. The bottom is clamped, and I'm going to keep clamping it because I picked this up from my father genetically, and this is true genetically for literally every and all carpenters and or makers. It kind of counts for both. But no matter how many clamps you put on something, you need to at least try and put one more. So, yeah. So, we're going to leave this for a few hours and check back on it because, let's see.
So, with all that out the way, that your end result is this little book. And now the process that I showed you was kind of like mamby-pamby made, kind of, because here's the thing. The one that I made is by my own method. Because of course I made mistakes in the binding. I had to redo a bunch of stuff, put a bunch of new holes and so on. But the process itself was very rewarding. And traditionally, when you bookbind, traditionally I would have gotten some fabric and glued the back piece and then put something over that and then covered this little piece. There's a whole nother process involved in this. So I will do that at a later point with other books that I'm going to build. But this was more of a preliminary, oh, okay, this is my starting point. Let me just try to get something done. And to all the makers out there, I highly recommend to get in that mindset. I found very recently that I let that mindset of perfectionism and trying to get the process exactly right, that I would just end up never finishing a project. And this little book is useful. It does its job. It's so simple. The process is really not that hard. It was all my tools and stuff that kind of made it more difficult because I have everything in different spaces. But that's okay. That's besides the point. But this is a simple thing that anyone could do, and if you just have glue, some needle and thread, you can get this done relatively quickly. And I definitely can do this faster. I can do this faster, and I can do this better, and I will. But this is a good starting point. So with that, I'm really happy with this, and it's going to be of great use to me, and I hope it'll be of great use to you. So with that, thank you. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.